Hey everyone, it's Miss Alicia, and today we're making bubble tea, also known as boba tea. We're going to start by making black tea boba tea, and you'll learn how to make this tea from scratch. But then we're going to get a powder tea, a taro root tea. Taro root boba is delicious. You're going to enjoy your drink today and learn all about boba tea.
Okay, this is going to be a lot of fun today, guys. So let's review all the equipment you're going to need to have to make this boba tea today.
Okay, folks, it's time for you to pause the video and gather up the ingredients you see here on the screen. You will indeed need 3.5 cups of boiling water. In addition to the ingredients you see here, you may also want some lemon rind or ginger. Again, go ahead and pause the video while you grab up a medium-sized pot and you grab a saucepan and prep your stove. If you don't have a blender, be sure to grab a whisk so you can stir your drinks, as well as a boba straw. This will be a wider straw than you normally get. You're also going to need a spoon that will not scratch the bottom of your pans. Additionally, you'll need a slotted spoon to grab your boba from the pot, and I suggest you get a tea kettle so you can heat up the water. Again, anything that you use to heat your water will work, even if it's a mug that you stick in the microwave and heat your water up that way.
And get out your blender now. That's A-okay. You can do that now. And you're also going to need to have a stove for heating up your tea. Yes, I got the super cool teapot just for you guys. And I am going to turn on the teapot now because it takes a few minutes to get boiling. Takes a few minutes. And while the tea is boiling, oh right, you need to also have something to let your tea steep in. So if you want to have your tea steep in a cup, great. If you want to have it steep in a really cool teapot like this, great. I love it. So go ahead and let your tea steep in a teapot. I recommend that you get a glass. I got a clear glass. You don't have to have a clear glass. I want you guys to see the boba sitting at the bottom, so I thought I would get that. And you're also going to need the measuring cup I gave you. If you don't have a measuring cup like that, you can use your own measuring cups like so. So get your own measuring cups out. That's fine. You don't need the measuring cup itself. You probably need like 1/3 of a cup or 1/4 of a cup or 1/2 a cup. That's kind of the sizes we're going to be using today. You are going to be making this to taste, to your taste, to what you want to drink, to what is sweet to you, what is not too sweet to you. So don't worry about not having the right size or anything, because we're doing this to what your specifications are, to what you like. So don't worry. We're going to be making something very simple and very delicious today. So right now we have our teapot boiling. And the next thing you want to do is get our boba boiling. So those of you who bought your own boba, please follow the directions on the packet to make your boba correctly. But when it comes to that part where they're telling you to drain the water away from your boba, please do not do that. The boba that takes longer to cook, especially, do not drain the water. This is not pasta. Tapioca pearls will become hard again if you take away the cooking water from them. So we're going to turn on this lovely induction plate. And we're going to lower it a little bit. Take your boba. If you got my boba, it's 5-minute boba. So we're going to wait till this boils. And once it boils, then we're going to add our boba to it. Notice I haven't taken the lid off. Wait till your water is boiling, and then you can add your boba to it. So those of you who got the hour-long boba, I really hope you started cooking it a little ahead of time because we are going to need to let it boil. If you got my boba, it's going to be about 5 minutes. So we're going to let the water boil. We have the teapot boiling and we have the pot boiling. We're in good shape. And while that boils, we're going to go ahead and prepare our simple syrup. Now, why are we making a simple syrup? Because we are going to use that to sweeten our boba tea. So now you're going to ask, how do you make a simple syrup? Making a simple syrup is really simple. It's in the name. Yeah. So it's basically equal parts sugar and equal parts water. If you have, for example, a strong desire for a lot of sweet, you might do 1/2 cup of sugar and 1/2 cup of water. If you're thinking, I'm not sure I want to drink all that, use a 1/4 cup. I'm going to use a 1/3 cup. So I'm going to take my brown sugar, take my 1/3 cup, and I'm going to measure out a 1/3 cup of sugar and put it into my saucepan. And I gave you a lot of brown sugar, so you can make as much as you like, because I know everybody's taste is different. But keep in mind one thing, simple syrup lasts for weeks. Now, if you don't use sugar, that's okay. If you use honey, you can make a simple syrup that you can store. It's shelf stable. You can store it right beside the salt in your house. Simple syrup is wonderful. And I chose brown sugar because it has a flavor that works really well with that black tea I included in your packet. But if you find that you are needing more flavor, get a slice of ginger and add it to this as it starts to heat up. You can add mint, you can add lemon rind, you can add anything you want to this simple syrup. Your flavor, your taste, your inclination for what you want to taste. Yar. I'm so proud of that. Simple syrups are really, really great. Again, you can use them to make a lemonade base. Just take some lemon rind and put that in there with the simple syrup as it starts to heat, and it will just reduce, take out, not reduce, but it will reduce to a certain extent. It'll take out some of the oil from the lemon rind, and it will allow you to add that to a lemonade that you want to make and make it a stronger, tastier lemonade, better than the powder stuff or the liquid stuff. You can make your own lemonade at home. Simple syrups are very versatile in that respect. If you want to add any other flavors, you could. Just add it to it as it's boiling down, and that flavor will then be added to your sweetener. So you don't have to worry about having a grainy lemonade anymore. Your lemonade will be smooth and tasty.
So add your water to the pan, then add your sugar or sweetener to the pan, and then break it up with that no scratch spoon. You want to integrate that sugar and that water together as much as possible. After this, we can put it on some heat, but remember,
we don't want it to turn into a fudge. We don't want it to turn into a hardened thing. We want it to actually dissolve. We want to make this into brown water, basically. So let me check on this water here. It's almost boiling. You can almost add the boba tea. You can check your water too and see if it's boiling in this teapot. I'm going to increase the heat on that one too. Well, when the water is hot, I am going to have to pour it into my teapot. So I'm going to now, and you can do this too, get your tea into your teapot. So go ahead and open up your tea bags. Not open up your tea bag, open up the bag with your tea in it. I've already used this once today. It's okay, I'll have a weaker tea. I gave you 3 tea bags so you can make a really strong tea. If you think, I don't really want a tea that strong, wait for it. You can always add water. Remember, we're making this to taste. So we're gonna start off by making this pretty strong, and then we're gonna water it down a little bit. So, get your tea bags in your teapot. Once you have your tea bags in your teapot, and this teapot feels pretty hot to me, and I've already used the tea bags once today, so I can pour my hot water on the tea and it'll be fine. Let's see. You like my teapot? Super cute, right? I do like it. I am getting ready to shift this over. I'm gonna pour my tea into the teapot. And you can see that steam coming off it because it is hot. And since I've used these tea bags once today, yes, I could have gotten fresh tea bags. I should have. But I really am okay with it being a little weaker. I don't mind. Everybody has different flavors that they expect or enjoy. I myself like a weaker tea. That's just me. So now I'm going to switch and take the tea kettle off and put my saucepan on.
Now on a low to medium heat, you want to heat up your sugar and water mixture until it looks like this. Stirring it slowly and carefully, you want to have an almost liquid version of the sweetener, nothing too thick. Here's an example.
Pot from the previous simple sugar so you guys can see how it was made. I'm going to pour this very carefully. But as I'm pouring it out, I'm going to show it to you so you can see what a finished simple syrup made from brown sugar looks like. It's a liquid, it looks like brown water, okay? And I'm gonna check on my pot. Yeah, I have a friend here helping me. Thank you, Miss Carrie, because she's awesome. She's helping me here. It looks like it's got a little bit of a boil to it. It is kind of boiling, so here we go. Go ahead and open up your container. And we're gonna pour these in really slow, okay? We're gonna pour them in slowly, and you'll see me shaking the container. That's how I was taught how to spread things in gently. So we're gonna gently and slowly pour these in. We're not gonna dump them. We're gonna gently and pour our boba into the pot with the boiling water. Wait till your water is boiling, and then gently and slowly pour these in. And we're gonna wait until the tapioca pearls float to the top. We should take about 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm spreading them out so they're not on top of each other. It should take about 2 or 3 minutes for them to float to the top. And then, by that time, they should have reached boiling again. And they are starting to float. Now, everybody has a tapioca pearl density that they enjoy. Some people like this a little harder, some people like this a little softer. You make a choice as to how you want yours to go. And you can use that slotted spoon I gave you. And I gave away all my slotted spoons, so I had to use my own from home. So I'm going to use my own slotted spoon to test how soft the tapioca pearls are going to be. So when the tapioca pearls are soft enough, you just turn off the heat and you can try them out. But they're going to need at least 2 to 3 minutes from now to be ready. Okay, so this is boiling. You might also notice your boba are increasing in size because they are absorbing that water. You might also notice that smell. Sweet boba. Like I said before, you could have flavored your simple syrup. You can make it with stevia. You can make it with honey. You have a lot of different options. Boba tea was originally created in Taiwan. It was a combination of milky tea and tapioca pearls. And that was basically some inventive street hawker's idea. We don't know who truly invented boba tea, but it was created so that people could have a cool, refreshing drink in the summer. And we're going to show you guys how to make that cool, refreshing drink. If you are watching carefully, you'll notice that your tea bags have been in there for a while. We want to make this as strong as possible. So if your tea bags have been in there and you're like, well, I don't really like bitter tea, now will be the time to take your tea bags out. And the boba are boiling. Oh my goodness, take a look at them. Okay, while the boba boils, I am now going to start banging on these ice cubes. So turn down your sound.
You can also use your blender to break up your ice cubes.
Yeah, you've noticed I'm a little silly, yeah. Okay, so if you don't have perfectly crushed, it's okay. We're gonna be using some of this in the blender. It's all right. And some people actually like full cubes. Oh, I broke the bag a little bit. Oh boy, that's a sign I need to hurry up and use it. So, using my slotted spoon, I'm now gonna check on my boba. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, looking good. Okay, they've been boiling for about 2 to 3 minutes. I'm now gonna turn off the heat and let it just kind of simmer in its own heat. And that's okay. The tea has been made, your simple syrup is done, your boba is finished. It's time to compile our drink. So let's start by getting our glass. Get your glass. I'm going to pull out the boba. Since we're making 2 drinks, let's try to divide how much boba we're going to use. And if you're sharing this, I know some of you guys are doing this as a family. Try to save some boba for the next glass. I am putting mine at the bottom here. I'm also a little afraid maybe mine are too tough because, like I told you before, sometimes everybody has a different idea of what boba consistency should be. If you want your super soft, you can keep boiling them. Feel free to do so. That's absolutely okay. I got a bunch on the bottom there. I'm gonna stop at that. I still have more, but I want to save some for the taro root. You can do any flavor you want. You can do green tea, boba tea. You can do whatever floats your boat. That's absolutely okay. So once you put the boba at the bottom, then you can add a little bit of ice. Again, really missing that ice machine right now. Now, if you don't want to add ice because you don't want it cold, that's absolutely okay. You don't have to have it cold. That is your choice. I'm just putting a little bit of ice in here. And the big chunks, really, because I'm now going to pour my tea in. Beautiful visual, right, guys? Ooh, it sounds great, too. And then I'm dripping in my simple syrup. Oh, no. It's sugar and water. It'll live. Okay, I'm now going to spoon out as much sweetener as I'd like. So I'm going to put in 2 spoons of this simple sugar. And I'm going to splash a little bit of milk in there. Oh, look at that. Look at how nicely that mixes. Now, if you want, you can stir that, or you can just get out your straw. Now there should be a straw for each of you, at least one per family. And some of you guys might have noticed, or actually one lucky person noticed that they have at one of these. This is to clean your straw. All the straws you guys receive from me are reusable. So you can clean that straw and make boba tea for as long as that straw will work with you. So take your straw, pointy end, the sharp end. You know, you see how there's a slide in and there's an angled end? Put the angled end side first, because you don't want to create a suction, and give it a taste. Perfect. Just sweet enough. Chewy. I really like it. Do you like yours? If you do, comment below. Let us know. Oh, it's so yum. Wow. I'm gonna have to make the glass for you. Miss Carrie's like, great, she's enjoying it. Didn't you offer me a glass? Take a moment, congratulate yourself. You made a good boba tea. Good job, everybody. And now we are going to make the cold boba tea. Now this is the taro root boba tea. Some of you are going, why did you choose taro root? I chose taro root because it has the simplest flavors that you can possibly have. So this right here, taro root, okay? It's purple. It tastes like whipped cream. It's wonderful. You can't eat taro root raw. For those of you who are doing this at home who don't have taro root powder, please do not try to consume taro root raw. It is toxic. You must only consume taro root if it is cooked. So, if you have the taro root powder, you're in the right place. If you don't have taro root powder, but you have cooked taro root, still in a good place. You can use a simple syrup to sweeten it. If you have made your own taro root, okay. But I suggest taro root powder because that is the simplest way to make this. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use that measuring cup. You can see I've used it once already. And I'm going to use this blender. So grateful for this blender. And I'm going to measure out 5 ounces. This is according to the manufacturer's instructions. 5 ounces. Actually, this is cream I gave you guys, and this is really rich. I'm going to measure out 4 ounces because I'll let the ice melt down into the cream and thin it out a little bit. This is really decadent. This is like eating melted ice cream, and it is so good. So I'm going to measure out 4 ounces. Take it back. You can do 5 ounces. That's what the manufacturer says, but since they're suggesting milk and I'm giving you cream to make it richer and more delicious, you can go ahead and measure out 4 ounces with me using your measuring cup. Okay. Now pour your cream into the blender. And now, get your taro root powder. Now you may say, oh wow, we're gonna pour the whole bag in? No, we are not pouring the whole bag in. I gave you enough for you to have at least 2 drinks. Yes, I want you guys to make this more than once for yourself. Now, taro root powder is full of vitamin A. Well, taro root itself is full of vitamin A, vitamin C, and a whole lot of stuff that is healthy for you. And it is also high in calories. So, using your quarter cup, go ahead and scoop out 1/4 of a cup of taro root powder. Trying to get the taro root powder in. 1/4 of a cup of taro root powder. There we go. It's still too much. Let's save some for later, right?
Now pour your taro root powder right on top of the cream. Make a circle as you do so.
Now, I've already told you, using cream, it's rich. Taro root powder, it's rich. You get to add as much ice as you see fit. So some of you are going, as I see fit, well, it's going to melt. And you're trying to make this into basically a smoothie or a frappe. So I'm going to add all my ice. Not the least of the reasons is because I have a hole in this bag. I'm going to add all of this ice because I know I have a rich drink and I want to thin it out a little bit.
Now dump the ice right on top of everything else, and a strong blender should break it all up.
I mean, if I don't like it, I'm going to pour a little bit out, taste it. I'm going to pour a little bit out, and I'm offering that to Miss Carrie. Want to try it out? She's like, oh boy. So we're going to try it out, and if it's too rich, guess what? We'll add more cream, we'll add more ice, we'll add more water. We do have water. This is going to turn into an 8-ounce drink. So if you want a lot of ice, that's fine. You'll have a more watered down version. I would start with less ice, and then you can add water as you go or add ice as you go. We're going to taste this. And once you taste it, after that, turning my Ninja on, after that, then you can choose if you want to add more, not so much or whatever. Add milk, add mix, add ice. Blend. Okay, we don't have to add water unless we want to. Okay, so I have this lovely Ninja. I'm so grateful for it. It's a gift from a great friend. And I'm turning my power on, and I'm gonna pulse this, okay? Because I want to break up the ice. But last time I pulsed it was crushed ice, and it broke up really easily. This time, I'm making no promises.
Make sure you break up the ice chunks really well with your blender, or if you need to, break it up with the rolling pin. Do whatever works best for you.
I hope it's enough. I don't hear any rocks of ice crashing about, so I assume that's a good sign. Are you ready to give it a taste test, Miss Carrie? Sure. She's like, okay. Turning off my power on my Ninja because it doesn't like it by now. And I'm gonna lift my lid up here. Hold it in place. I love that about it. Give it a taste, Miss Carrie, and let's hear the verdict. You can say woohoo or oh no.
That's surprisingly very good.
Surprisingly very good. Yay! It's a win! I'll take it. Now, what flavors are you picking up? Do you feel in like maybe coconut in there a little bit?
A little coconut, a little vanilla, almost. Cream, a lot of cream.
Well,
because there's a lot of cream.
That's kind of part of it. So yeah, if you are making this at home and you're like, okay, that's good, but I want mine to be richer. Add more cream. I want mine to be waterier. Add more ice. Add water if you want to. That's up to you. But we're gonna make ours boba. I didn't give you any boba.
That's okay.
You're like, I'm okay with that. I don't need any boba.
Got a boba version.
That's okay. So I am going to go ahead and make the boba part of the drink. But first I want to make sure the blend was good. So you confirm the blend is good and we can run with this. So I'm gonna take my slotted spoon, like you guys have your slotted spoons at home, and I'm gonna scoop out. Boy, the boba are running away from me. I don't know about you guys. The boba are running away from my pot here. My spoon as I try to scoop them out. Really putting up a fight. I'm gonna cover the bottom at least with boba. If you wanna make like 3 or 4 layers of boba in your cup, that's great. But like I said, I know a lot of you are sharing this with family. Try to make it spread. Share the boba. And remember, leave them in the water, otherwise they will become hard again. You do not want hard boba. Okay. go. Unlock it because this is so safe. It never wants to fall off and it is stuck to this table. We have to pry it and we pour it on top. Does that look familiar to those of you who've been to a Boba Tea Cafe? I'm going to switch my straw over. Give it a taste. Mmm, delicious. I love it. Creamy, sweet, chewy. Mmm, the tapioca pearls have no flavor. All your flavor comes from your mix, from your tea. It's really delicious. Mmm. Be careful of the ice chunks. Oh wow. Chewy and ice. Maybe not your favorite way to go. Your choice. Mmm. So yum. Okay. Any questions? While you're enjoying your drink, let me tell you a little bit about boba tea. Boba tea was first invented in Taiwan. The first one we made was the invention of probably a street vendor. Many cities in Taiwan have claimed responsibility for creating this wonderful drink, including Taipei. But milky tea, if you might guess, came originally from the British. And I first had my first boba tea in Hong Kong. And this was created first in the 1990s, and it's spread worldwide since then. And a street hawker in Taipei said, you know what would be great? If I didn't just sell a drink, a sweet drink, in the summer, what if I added a little bit of a tummy filler? And so they added tapioca pearls because it's, not a lot of people have allergies to tapioca and they enjoy it. So it spread from Taiwan all over the world from the 1990s to now. If you're looking to get your own tapioca pearls, there are some available, I believe, at Loyal Fant. It will take you an hour to boil those down. They won't be the quick boils like we have here, the 5-minute boil. But when they're ready, they're going to taste delicious. So take your time to make it. Now, for those of you who are thinking, boy, I wish we had a boba tea cafe here, maybe you should ask around town. Maybe there are some people who might be willing to make boba tea for you. That's for our local business there. I am so glad you guys joined me today. This is a really fun and light and cool drink to make, or you can have it hot without ice. It's up to you. But yeah, it's something you can have and enjoy. If you are 11 and up, you are always welcome to any of our teen programs. If you have a question about a program, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much for watching, and we really appreciate it. You guys have a great day. Take care.
And so ended the longest, hardest shoot of my career. I started off looking like this, and I ended looking like this. Thanks for joining me at the Be Your Own Boba Tea Cafe. You guys make it all worth it. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Bye.